Testing. Ahem. This is Dodge Catsroy, the resident. What's the word I'm looking for? I do everything person of the group. Jack of all trades. This will be my first commentary video. I'll take a look from a third perspective, like Master Tonic says, to see if I did anything wrong, if there's anything I can improve, which I didn't. I already know how this is going to end. I may or may not just skip past large portions of this fight until we get to the actual good shit. But for now, I'll just play it and see what I got. Which is a whole lot of nothing. Standard opener, I toggle through all my bullshit. And I'm gonna cuck right here. I don't know if it's better to sprint in or elusive jump in to start these fights. I've also seen different openers in terms of like how I rotate my buffs. So at the start, you'll see me starting with Dragon Sight on a Chemi Star, and then I will do Litany and Lance Charge, or Blood for Blood, whatever. I've seen openers start with Blood for Blood, and then Litany, and then Dragon Sight. I've seen people start with Litany, and then Blood for Blood, and then Dragon Sight. Maybe it's fight specific. I don't actually care enough to look. So I'm just gonna keep doing this until I get yelled at for it because it's costing me damage or some shit. I'm sure in the long run it doesn't really matter. I'm also not potting because we're not even at enrage yet. Standard opener, so nothing's happening. Looking like I might have to skip ahead here a little bit. We have a Titan junction. I mean, for the first bit of this fight, the boss is pretty much a dummy. I mean, especially here, there's nothing that I actually have to do that I don't already know. Into the sides. Judge is trash, so he gets fucking whacked. Bye bye. Tank Buster. Now, I haven't really talked to Star about how we're gonna handle feints for the Tank Buster. I've been told that the Buster is physical, so I'm gonna keep using feint on it. And the Busters are like super far apart, so by the time the next Tank Buster comes, I'll have it up again. That being said, I know for the third Tank Buster, my feint may or may not be up again, so if it becomes a problem, I'll talk to Star about it. But for now, I'll feint it. Alright, we're about a minute into the fight. I think. I should put a timer up here. But this is where I first go into life, which shouldn't be a problem. You know, it's standard. I have about 17 seconds left on my blood for blood, so I have 26 seconds left of life. I should be able to get out 2 Nostrons before this buff comes back up, which I'll be able to use my third Nostron under and my Star Diver. Nothing's happening. Thinking I might have to skip ahead a little bit. I'm skipping. Okay. Diamond Dust. Now, here's some bullshit where I have to actually question. Diamond Dust is dog shit because you have to slide to the safe spot. As a melee, that is super turbo annoying because the slide distance is fixed. You'll always slide a set amount of distance where you go, but depending on where the safe spot is and depending on where you start from, you could slide out of melee range. So even if I land in the safe spot, it might not put me in melee range, which would then fuck up my rotation. Let's see if I get lucky. So the safe spot is northeast. Sometimes I've been able to position myself to wiggle in there and get some GCDs out. Other times I haven't been so lucky. I've been waiting until the very last second and popping true north. Oh, I've already done that. Well, I've been waiting till the last second to squeeze out a GCD before I slide to the safe spot. I've greeted it. I can get one more GCD in before I slide to the safe spot. But let's see if I land in melee range. I am not in melee range. This is Giga Cancer because now this is my strongest hitting attack. Full thrust is my strongest attack, my strongest GCD. So, and it's a life GCD or a lance charge, life surge, whatever. So now I can't hit it on time, which means I can't wheeling thrust and yada yada on time, which means no ride and thrust on time, if I even get it, which throws me off. And it delays my next dot, which puts me behind, which causes me damage, which is AIDS. Also, Star is just out of range for me to give him Dragon's Eye. It's kinda AIDS too because I get the most benefit off of him using it. But he's kinda out of range and it's nothing I can really do. Sometimes he's in range, sometimes he isn't. Depends on I guess how we slide. But until I can find a consistent way to get him, or if I can't, I'm just gonna keep tethering to Judge. Fuck you, Judge. Yada yada. This is also where I get my second Star Diver. I can get it off and get one GCD in while I move to my safe spot. Let's see. Wheeling thrust, knockback, jump. So let's go back about 10 seconds. This mechanic fucks with me. I don't know if it's just all Dragoons or it's just me specifically, but first of all, not being able to keep my my GCD going already fucks with me. But this is also where all of my jumps are coming back off cooldown. I have jump, spine shatter, dragonfire, and star diver actually. But I've already used star diver. I've popped my anti knockback. I believe I cast a jump right after. Yep. But that also costs me a GCD. I don't know if I can fix this. Did I go back too far? Not far enough. I'm at the dilemma where, yeah, I don't think I could have gotten that GCD off because I'm using Fang and Claw to disengage. But it's also weird because jump animation locks you, so it 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 just makes me late on my next GCD. I can't keep it rolling. I have to move out, or else I die to the tether. And it also just makes my weaving weird because I want to use Spine Shatter and Dragonfire as as soon as I can. So what do I do? I Spine Shatter back in, Radiant Thrust, Dragonfire. I guess that's the best I can do. Spine Shatter's kind of slow for a gap closer. It might be faster to just elusive jump, but I don't know if I should greed a GCD and elusive jump out before the icicles hit and spine shatter back in, or it's something to consider, I guess. But at this point, I'm definitely drifting. The boss is a dummy again. Skip. Nothing's happening. It's another Stardiver window. Trying to save True North so that I can hit my positionals while doing this god awful mechanic. I have to hold my jump here because if I jump during this, I'll die. And I don't have enough True North to get my positionals when I go to the front. Maybe I have to move around my usage, but I'll see. I know from looking at the logs that I'm missing 2 Raiden thrusts compared to other Dragoons here. So maybe they found a way to save that one. Life of the Dragon. I'm next to Star, so now I can tether him again. Let's see, we have out into Cardinals. Stop. This is a mistake on my end. There is a safe spot right along this ring, this part of the geometry. It's like cutting halfway through the safe spot that is in melee range. Whenever the boss uses Ramu, the AoE reaches about this far, and you can stand like just on the edge of it and still be in melee range. I move too far out, and I have to like jiggle myself back into place. But while I'm like gauging how far it is, it's like causing me to drift on GCDs. Oh, whoa! I didn't see that. Oh, go back. Stop. Okay, so that was just a straight up mistake. I spammed Raiden Thrust thinking I was still in melee range without actually looking because half the time I'm like barely paying attention, so I just assumed that it went off or something, but it didn't. And so because of that, I had already started clicking the next spell in the rotation. So I dropped my combo, and I noticed it immediately because I went back to True Thrust. So that's where one of my Raiden thrusts went. Okay, now I know where both of them went, and I'll deal with that. Nothing's happening. Raid buff, or raid damage rather. Stop. One more problem. Looking into like Dragoon try hard shit. I just used my blood, blood for blood. I'm just gonna call it blood for blood. Um, right before my full thrust. Blood for blood lasts long enough for you to get off 8 GCDs. Um, so that's like 1.5 combos for Dragoon because you have your 1, 2, 3, Wheeling Thrust, and Fang and Claw are just continuations of that same combo. So I just count them as 4 and 5, and then you get another 1, 2, 3. So that being said, using it here on full thrust is bad. I don't remember exactly why, but it shakes out that um, you're supposed to be getting in, I believe, two right-in thrusts per um, blood for blood, and it kind of doesn't work out if you use like the end of the combo. Let's count this out actually. So I'll count this as one, which I already used, right? Yep. Two, three, four, five. So one right-in thrust. Six, one dot, seven, eight, and it falls off. That's why. Okay. So I think two right-in thrusts shake out to be worth more than one full thrust. And hell, I haven't looked at fucking bullshit as potencies in forever. Right-in thrust might actually just be stronger than full thrust. But I distinctly remember looking at uh, blood for blood windows and hearing that using it um, using it before full thrust or before a chaos thrust is probably bad. So let's look at this. So if I had used it one GCD later, I'd get a Fang and Claw, a Wheeling Thrust, a Ride-in Thrust, Disembowel. So that's one, two, three, four. Five would be a Chaos Thrust. Six, seven, another Fang and Claw, and then eight would be my second Ride-in Thrust. Okay. And I think it just works out no matter where you use it, as long as it's not before your third hit of your combo. So I have to keep that in mind. I'm used to just spamming blood for blood on cooldown, so I'll have to look closer at that. Let's see, nothing's happening. Bunch of bullshit. I actually didn't know where to go for this release. I just faked it to make it. Also, I messed up. I am in life without a buff that'll be up before um, life ends that I can use on my Star Diver. Why did I do that? Well, let's see. My jump's coming up. Full thrust, jump. That's why. So I used my Mirage Dive before my Gear Skogul, and I probably noticed it. Depending on the cooldowns of your buffs, you have to rotate your usages of Mirage Dive and Gear Skogul. So if I don't have a buff coming up, I will. It also depends on how many eyes I have. So this Mirage Dive gave me my second eye, but I don't have any buffs. So in this case, I should have used Gear Skogul first and then Mirage to get my second eye, which then I could use on the next Gear Skogul to get into life to use Star Diver. But if I did have buffs coming up here, I'd reverse the order and Mirage Dive first for my second eye, and then Gear Skogul for life. Sometimes I miss it. It is what it is. I also missed a Ride and Thrust proc here. Hmm. Am I missing something? Why did I not get Wheeling Thrust? Full Thrust? Bang and Claw? Oh, because I'm dog shit, that's why. I think I hit true thrust. I hit full thrust. I don't know if I fat fingered that or what. That's why. Oh, that's actually. I didn't have true north up, so I probably would have lost ride and thrust there anyway. But that is a mistake that I can fix. This is also where the next tank buster comes up. Pretty sure it's after this raid wide. And my feint is up, so probably just gonna do it to him. Yep. What the heck's happening? She's charging north and south out. Lions. Mistake. I forget that she does this goofy ass haircut before she delegates who has lions and whatnot. Or am I wrong? I think she does it at the same time. Let's see. Yes, she hands out the or the lion tethers and starts the haircut. But I forgot about the haircut, so I just went into position early. I'm pretty sure I die because of this. Perfect position. Knockback. I missed that wheeling thrust. I should have definitely used that wheeling thrust um, right before I walked out. I have this problem of like assuming that the GCD goes off before I move because it should. It's a shitty ass game, but it didn't. I also don't know if we're holding for the end of Lions. I think we should be, so I'm not going to be throwing out any buffs. I don't think. Let's keep watching. Samurai dies. Shinny dies. I'm going to die. I'm about to get ass blasted by this lion. And then, let's see. Oh wait, I live? But everyone else dies, so I get gangbanged by the lions. That's it. So, a couple of mistakes. Not really. But my biggest thing is I need clarification on. I need to learn how to navigate the Shiva mega mechanic so I don't lose GC or uptime on my GCD. And then I really have to look closely at what I'm using my true north on. Because I know for a fact where I lost one Raiden thrust. Well, I know where I lost them both actually. No, then that's probably all I could do then. Because I'm using true north as much as I can. And the only Raiden thrusts that I've seen to lose are the ones that I either cut the combo short for or I just used the wrong button entirely. So, other than that, I'd say this was pretty good. Also, Judge sucks. Fuck you, Judge.